thanks so much for coming on the program. Again, we really value your time and effort to put into coming on and sharing your insights with us.
Jerry, happy to be here and happy to dive into this deep world of the interconnection between digital technologies and supply chain management. It's an exciting time in this industry.
No, absolutely. And those who haven't had the pleasure of seeing you on the program before, we'd love to get a quick 30-second bio on what you've been doing and what you've done in the past.
Sure. So Jerry, I serve as the director of supply chain management for NewYork-Presbyterian Hospital, a large academic medical institution in New York City with dozens of hospitals and medical facilities across the city, across parts of upstate New York. And in my role, in essence, at a very, very high level, is around the strategy and operations for the healthcare supply chain. That essentially means ensuring that all of the disposable, reusable, and to a certain extent, the pharmaceutical goods that we purchase are readily available every day for patient care, while ensuring the strategies on the back end, of which implementing future digital technologies is key, are in place to ensure that we're successful.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and really super important to make sure that all of the right pieces of inventory are getting to where they need to be at the right times, of course, to make sure that care can be given to the right people at the right time. And let's dive right into it and talk about and hear from you and how digital technologies are reshaping the traditional sort of supply chain practices in terms of management within healthcare institutions right now, and the key advantages and also the challenges, of course, associated with this undertaking of transformation.
Yeah, Jerry, I love the choice of the verb reshaping, because I think that describes, when we think about reshaping, and healthcare itself is so vast. You have large pharmaceutical players, med tech, hospitals, vast ecosystem, and I'll speak in slightly more general terms, just given organizations could be at different places on that spectrum. But when it comes to just bread and butter supply chain, I think there's three things to consider with how digital technologies are reshaping the industry. The first, to me, centers around this notion of improved tracking and transparency. I think everyone's aware of RFID tech. Everyone's heard of the term RFID. Everyone's probably becoming more familiar with this term IoT, or like the Internet of Things, which is basically sensor technology. Mm-hmm. Whether it's the drug supply chain, whether it's the disposable supply chain market, or the reusable, understanding where things are in terms of a traceability perspective just helps to manage theft, loss, and in the end ensures timely replenishment of these critical needs, especially for hospitals or organizations that run lean supply chain. So improved tracking and transparency is topic one that comes to mind. Topic two, and in a way related, to me, centers on the use of digital technologies to enhance data analytics. Having data in a more of a real-time manner to predict demand, reduce stockouts, minimize excess inventory. Jerry, you said it best, having supplies or drugs or therapies at the right place, at the right time, in the right quantity, the right location, all those key rights. Getting that right requires the right layers of data. And I'm optimistic that as models ingest, whether it's a chat GPT or whatever, or something within an ERP system, frankly, it doesn't technically matter to me. But as we ingest more data, we'll be able to reactively, but more importantly, proactively use data to guide inventory management practices. And then, Jerry, the third I'll say before I briefly elaborate on challenges and advantages is the ability of digital technologies to streamline procurement processes. When I say that, and I think of procurement as twofold. One, it's the arm of buying things. So every organization buys something, whether you're manufacturing goods, whether you're a hospital buying widgets. Utilizing digital technologies to guide generally those buying processes is becoming more and more necessary just to reduce manual labor. And then on the procurement side, when you think about it, utilizing technologies to I dare not say replace those in the risk management or a legal team, but to draft contracts, to draft RFPs, to create scorecards that help you mitigate and understand risk when it comes to sourcing from provider A, B, C, and D. I think are all coming to the foreplay. And then, Jerry, with that in mind, when I think of advantages, and I'll be a little bit more high level with these. First, of course, the first advantage of this transformation, utilizing digital technologies, centers on patient care. Getting all this right just helps ensure that the quality of care and having those supplies available will be at the right time in the right place, and all those things that we just discussed. So patient care is one. In the end, digital technologies just drive efficiencies across operations, across therefore financial cost. And I think the third is around just transparency, understanding more and more, and we'll notice more regulation. I think Germany had a recent supply chain act or law, and we do have the DSCA here, the Drug Security Supply Chain Act, which requires traceability and transparency. So I think utilizing these digital technologies to help us understand where things are coming from is becoming more important. To close, so many challenges. I think the three that come to mind, one is around cost, of course. That's bottom line financials of paying for technologies and consultants, the cost of labor and resource allocation. There's the challenge of change management. Everyone's maybe comfortable doing what they're doing. And lastly, just the challenge of integrating data and sources along with protecting that data, patient health information, so critical. Protecting that data in this era of cybersecurity remains a challenge, no matter how robust an information security department is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks for bringing all those points to light, Randy. Definitely things that I think, I myself didn't really consider, in terms of, the opportunities and challenges, of course, with digital playing a part in, in supply chain management and stuff. And of course, within that comes integration, of course, and, making sure that we're able to integrate those technologies in terms of the provider system across the different departments within the hospital's own supply chain. We talked a lot on this program about different healthcare entities in collaboration with each other to transform the way that healthcare is being delivered, using digital. But in this instance of supply chain, it's really the internal pieces of the clinical, administrative, IT departments and so forth. How is that collaboration going to improve the facilitation for integration within the hospital systems?
Well, what I would say is that type of collaboration, I think a few things come to mind, Jerry. The first is that type of collaboration helps to break down department silos. And when I say that, and maybe I'm in a slightly biased perspective, but NewYork-Presbyterian, we're affiliated with two world-renowned universities, being Cornell University and Columbia University. Our physicians are employed by the university, while all of our other clinical staff are employed by the hospital. When you have this type of governance and structures, naturally, there's going to be departmental silos that exist. And those silos just in the end detract in many different ways from the operations of patient care. But I remain heavily optimistic that utilizing digital technologies can just remove those silos and really promote that culture of collaboration, communication, removing the optics of who am I employed by, to just in the end ensure we're better caring for our patients. Relatedly, I think just digital technologies can help us to better standardize data. I dare to say how I, as a supply chain leader, define a widget in our ERP versus how a clinician refers to a specific type of catheter are night and day differences. And I think utilizing technologies to ingest data and learn from how I, as a supply chain leader, while how a chair of a department thinks about a supply, can help get us, and I'm speaking very specifically in the supply chain lens, can help get us into a place where we can standardize data. I think last thing I want to highlight and bring it back full circle to Jerry, to something I previously mentioned, is there's always going to be an element of resistance to change. But as much as healthcare organizations, which are always going to have clinical experts, research experts, business experts who don't have licensure like myself to perform clinical care, strategy experts, regulatory experts, we have to think of things in terms of cross-functional support, in terms of teams that make decisions, utilizing for digital technologies to be well represented. But in the end, I think it really comes down to, all that being said, the buy-in at the very top. Healthcare leaders have very difficult jobs for many different reasons. One of the most difficult reasons is healthcare, maybe certain areas, but hospitals are not high margin industry, or not high margin organizations. Profit margins are in the single digit percentage points. And with that, you make tough decisions. You have a 5% profit margin this year. Do you invest that in building a new cancer center? Do you invest that in building a new supplier or integrating a new supply chain technology? It's tough decisions, but I think having that support from an investment lens, along with then training and education, just helps us utilize data technologies to just move patient care forward.
Yeah, no, absolutely. In the last 60 seconds, Randy, I know we're very much close to time. I think we've asked pretty much all of the speakers here in terms of looking forward to the future. What trends are you anticipating right now in terms of digital transformation for hospital supply chains, as you currently see it?
Yeah, Jerry, I'll keep it to your point, rapid fire, 60 seconds. I think we're definitely seeing the interplay more of, I'll term it robotics and automation. And when I say robotics, I don't mean cyborgs walking around as in like the Terminator. I simply mean like bots in our systems, in our ERP, helping to guide the procure to pay processes, helping to conduct manual repetitive processes such as the payment of invoices that a human being would normally do, then thereby allowing that human being to perform more value-add activity. So I think the implementation of robotics and automation is one. I think we'll continue to see, and I think the previous speaker highlighted it in terms of utilizing AI for clinical care, but we'll see AI more involved in ingesting supply chain purchase data so we can then make more predictive analytics about what to purchase during a specific season, what to purchase as our orthopedic volume grows 20%. I think those are the digital technology trends are here, Jerry. They're here to stay. It's just about leaders making the right allocations of investment and in the technologies and the skill force to help in the technology itself and in the labor, so team members become more aware of how to use technology to improve patient care. But I'm a long-term player on robotics, automation, and AI.
Yeah, you get no disagreement from me there for sure, Randy. You're getting a lot of agreement there with the thumbs ups and the claps there in the audience as well. Randy, thanks so much for rounding off our Digital Health Symposium for July. Really wonderful to have you on the program as always. Those of you in the audience, please do connect with Randy. We did put his details in the chat. And thanks so much for sharing your insights with the audience today, Randy, as always.
Jerry, always a pleasure. Thank you all for listening. Have a nice day.
Pleasure is ours.